What up, everybody? Welcome to episode 11 of the Working DJ. And today is a special one because we have the official DJ
Mm.
of the World Series champions, Los Angeles Dodgers, the one and only DJ Severe. Damn it, fucking hand. Come on.
What up? Great to be here.
Man, thank you for taking the time to do this out of your busy schedule.
No, it's a pleasure.
Let's get right into it, man. World Series champs, official DJ. First, how does that feel to have that title?
You know what? It's kind of surreal because the season was kind of surreal. I mean, to get it done in those circumstances and to be a part of it, but kind of like outskirts be a part of it. And then just the way it happened in the shortened season, it was like ebbs and flows. It was like good ups and then kind of like surreal downs. Never like down because once we got the season started, I was just glad to be, back at work and then doing something. And then just seeing the reaction or the pretty much the reaction from the players, just the job that we're doing to make it seem as real as possible. And it's kind of like once we got into it, maybe like about the second or third homestand, it felt regular to kind of just like deal with it without like fans in the seats. So it was kind of like a different development for me to figure out what my job was. But definitely to win it, I think it felt the same when that third out was it. Because, for us as Dodger fans, it's like that relief we wanted. And we didn't care really what kind of season it was because we know we got a good team and we kind of knew even if it was regular, we would have done it the same way. You know what I mean? So it kind of put different spins on it, the feeling, but it still feels just as good. No one can take it away from it. You know what I mean? It's a World Series championship. It was even almost more difficult if you think about it, some of the things you kind of had to go through. And to me, especially playoff baseball, there's nothing like playoff baseball. And I'm a huge sports fan, but there's nothing like playoff baseball. And then just to see it go over that same way, it didn't feel any different. It just, especially when you got to the World Series and fans were allowed, but it just felt just like regular baseball to me. But to finally get it done and then to even have more of a spotlight put on me because I wasn't there and I was sending my music to Texas and kind of communicate with the DJ. And then just the pub I got just being home, it was kind of different because had a team been here or had we been here, I would have got shine, but it would have been my regular shine between, just the fans who know and the different things. But just for people to reach out to me and want to do interviews as want to know the behind the scenes. Are you there? How you're preparing? What are you doing? And then just seeing the crosstalk on Twitter and then kind of communicating back and forth with the DJ there. It was almost, I cherished it because hopefully it'll never be another season like that. So the payoff was to win the actual championship, but to still be a part of it and to know, even they tried to send me before the World Series started, my bosses were trying to really get MLB to let me go. But MLB said no because of the COVID rules. But just to see just what my bosses thought of me, like being there, because they actually said it's not a real home field advantage if our DJ's not there. And so just having to put everything together just to send it there and then rack my brain because, us as DJs, you want to deal with a full laptop and a full Serato so you know what you're going to. So then, but trying to condense it down to send it to somebody and then give them at least your best stuff to use, it was like you have to think through all these different scenarios and what might happen this, but then not oversaturate the dude so he gets all stressed out. And then now it's just he's not helping it at all. So just in that thought process and condensing it down was big.
Dope. How long have you been the official DJ for the Dodgers?
So this season coming up will be my 12th.
Oh wow, that's dope. What was the process like to becoming that, like the DJ? Is it an audition? Is it like kind of you have to know someone who knows someone?
Okay.
Like, what's that process like?
So I think about 2009, I had a friend who became a caterer at Dodger Stadium. In the very, very bottom portion were the dugout club.
Mm-hmm.
And this is right when they got the trade for Manny. And, Dodgers hadn't been in the playoffs in years. So they made the playoffs, and everyone, and the atmosphere was electric around the stadium, and he wanted to try to do something different. So my friend, his name is Sean, he brought me in to DJ pre-game in the dugout club. So you just come in, very bottom dugout club, because the people down there, they come to eat like 2 hours before the game. So they're eating prime rib and all this delicious foods, like a bar area. And so I lost my picture. And
You're
so
good.
yeah, I'm talking about sound, man, Bart.
Yeah.
And so I came in and I DJ'd. Like, and the atmosphere was good. Tiger Woods was there. All these different people, because they hadn't been in the playoffs in years. Just back, they hadn't been in the playoffs in years. So I come in. It's the first series against the Cubs, and I play. Everybody loves it. They had me come back another game. Everybody loves it. They had me come back next series. So I pretty much did all the playoff games. So basically, I DJ'd pregame. As soon as the national anthems played, I sit down and I sit. I'm either chilling in the bar eating this good food, or I go to seats. They find me seats, and I'm just chilling. So it was the best gig like ever. So there's every level of Dodger Stadium has a different management of catering. So it's Levy Restaurants and it's different managers. So other managers started hearing about me. And there was another DJ there. I don't even know who it was, but he was like a prima donna. They wanted you to come in and DJ with one parking space. And they asked me, could I provide 3 more DJs? I was like, yeah. So I called up some homeboys and I said, look, we're going to DJ at the stadium pregame. So they put us on, I was in dugout. They put us at the very, very top. And then one of the clubs on the side, one of like little all-you-can-eat clubs. And so I said, look, we're going to eat real good. And what I had everybody do was meet me down at the parking lot, the fire department. I took a trailer and I loaded up all this DJ equipment and I drove it into the stadium and I just flipped the trailer up behind my Suburban. That's how I used the one parking spot. So anyway, they had me do that maybe 3 more playoff series, and they called me back opening day. After that, the Dodgers started hearing about me, so they had me start doing their party. So I started doing Dodgers Under the Lights. That's the thing where they bring the fans out, and there's no game, and it's just like they might have Steve Garvey or somebody. So you just basically come on the field, act like you're a player, and tour the stadium. So I did probably 4 or 5 of those. And I finally got to do the Dodgers Christmas party. And I was doing a Christmas party, and this is right when the DJ horn hooked up. Lost my picture again. Right. It's right when the DJ horn came out. And so I was playing everybody as DJs, we was all going crazy over the DJ horn. So it was just burr, 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 burr all day long through the thing. You know what I mean? So at the end, this guy walks up to me. His name is Damien. And he says, hey, I'd like to get that DJ horn from you. Can you send it to me? I'm like, yeah. So I gave him my card. And so within these years, I started doing all these parties for the original Aaron Brockovich attorneys. I was doing all these parties in Malibu. I had met so many people just been doing a dugout club. I started doing so many other things. And plus, I'm on the level. So at this point, I know every vibe of music and every level of stadium. And I've been coming there since I was a kid. So he asked me, he follows up with an email. He asked me, can you send me that sound effect? And I said, yeah. So as a matter, I sent it to him. And I say, are there any openings? And he said, as a matter of fact, we're looking for a DJ. Are you interested? Just out of the blue. And I'm like, yeah, I'm interested. And I was actually on vacation in New York. So I shut down my vacation. I transformed all my website stuff to all my Dodger pictures of people who are like Tiger Woods and people who I had taken pictures with. And I just made it just look so Dodger that I knew they were going to do some investigation on me and try to do some background. And so I came in, I did an interview. And they asked me these different scenarios. And luckily, I had been around the stadium so much, all the people that I interviewed had seen me around the stadium. And I've been doing good. I've been there on time. I've been making friends with security. You know what I mean? I've been, doing what I need to do. Everybody with the crowd is happy. So they sent me home with these different scenarios of what would you do, 9th inning, this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? We're down. So I went home and I'm for about a week, I'm trying to figure out all these different scenarios and what I would play, what I know works at the stadium. And they called me back for a second interview. And the thing that's funny is there's all these different people that were already in the industry as DJs at stadiums, but they weren't technically really DJs. We're different because we're like real DJs. These people just play music. So it's like they're not really in tune with the tracks that are that you would use. You know what I mean? So they're just thinking basically from a stadium point of view, not from a party or anything else like we would do. So anyway, the second interview, I'm thinking, okay, I got to be prepared for all these questions. And actually, as soon as I went in, they actually just told me, man, we was going to give it to you all along because we see you around the stadium. We know you know what to do. And we're actually trying to bring a newer element into the stadium. So we just want you to be able to bring a different style of music than what's going on. So I beat out like probably 7 other people who have been DJs in LA at stadiums.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And they already knew. They were just making you jump through the hoops to see if you're going to do it.
They were just making me kind of like jump through like the different hoops. And I mean, but I was actually trying to work out like those scenarios in my head, like, you know what I mean? But I really just fell back on what I knew worked and kind of like what was there. And, you know, because I had been to the stadium so many times, I knew what somebody normally do. But, I just came in and kind of like took what they already had and slowly but surely I kind of changed it to my own way.
Right. And you can definitely hear it, dude. Like, I go to the games. I mean, dude, I'm a hardcore fan, so I go there as much as I was a season ticket holder, me and my lady. Man, we was joined. We were there for like 2 years. We were there every day, dude.
Right.
And you hear just the whole vibe when you're playing the songs. It was like everybody just even though they're losing, they'll go come up and sing. You just play a track to get everybody hyped up.
Right.
And I can work. I can hear it. And another thing, so I want to ask, like, when artists are there, celebrities that are chilling, I've noticed you play like their tracks.
Right.
Do you notice them, or they tell you to play their tracks?
Okay, so sometimes we'll get a heads up as people are coming, but sometimes, like, people in the industry, they don't spot people, so I spot the different people that I see. It's funny. 2 years ago, Dame Dash was there. He was sitting right down below, and it was a day game on a Sunday, and you could tell he was vibing, and you can almost tell that where he was sitting, nobody knew who he was. You know, he was with his family. Nobody was giving any pub, but probably some people knew. So I didn't even say anything to anybody. I just said that. So I played a Jay-Z song, and I just wanted to see what he would do. And he starts looking around, like talking to his kids, like, that's me. But he didn't know, like, but it was like, I did it so perfect. And you could just tell he's sitting here like looking around, like, you know, he's trying to figure out where it's coming from, tapping his kids, but the kids are like, we don't care that. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
But even still, it just fit with what was going on. And I thought that was so dope that, like, he's trying to figure, like, I'm playing a song. Nobody really knows who he is. Everybody just thinks it's a Jay-Z song. They don't know he has anything to do with it.
That's crazy.
But it was just so dope. So I'd like to pick out different people like that when they come. You know what I mean? To play certain tracks. And I'm not going to play, track. I'm going to try to go deep to really make them go, man, that DJ went deep. Not just what, you know what I mean? Not just the top that any commercial track. I'm going to go a little bit deeper.
And that's good thing you mentioned that, because I was there at the game when Kid Frost was there.
Right.
He played La Raza.
Right.
You understand? You have Raza, La Raza right there at the stadium. So when you play, everybody went crazy. And then we seen Kid Frost on the Jumbotron, and like, oh, snap.
Right.
I think I was trying to tag you, but I don't know what through because no reception back then. But like, damn, that's awesome, dude. Like, just how you just get everybody hyped up when you see somebody. Everyone's just like, oh, snap.
Yeah, it's funny because now me and Frost, we got kind of a relationship again, and Mellow Man Ace.
Yeah.
Through Young Quicks, they you know what I mean. They like Young Quicks is a rapper from like Oxnard who kind of befriended me. We've been talking. I've been like pumping his stuff, and I really appreciate his work ethic. But this is how I met Kid Frost and Mellow Man Ace, and we talk on a regular basis. It's funny to grow up and, be fans of the radio and fans of the music. And now these are my homies, you know what I mean, that I actually interact with. They'll come on my shows and do different things. It's so dope, you know what I mean? But that's what I wanted to bring to the stadium, was to be able to bring that element and play that type of music to you know what I mean, to just give it something different. And I want it to sound that way. I don't want it to sound like any other stadium. You know what I mean? I wanted to give that feel for the people, but I also want to do it so other people can respect it too. Because even if you don't know, I get so many times people on Twitter, because I'm very interactive with the fans, and people are telling me I'm always Shazamming, I'm always trying to figure out that's it. And they go, I can't believe you played Jay Dilla. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's what I try to do. I try to walk a good enough line to keep it as baseball, but even that, this is LA and we deserve the best. And that's what I want to do at the stadium all the time, hands down. So I work hard at trying to find that special element to make it like that. And really, I try to rely on the 90s I let the players use most of the new stuff, but I'll use it too for like bumps. But my main formula is I never want you to get out of the car and come into the stadium and hear the same thing that you just heard in your car. I never do that. That's why I try to keep it fresh and new. And I want to always wake up people's like ears and minds. And it's funny to walk out at the end of the night and see people still dancing or still people talking about the music. Sometimes they know me, sometimes they don't. Just when I step outside the Vince Scully press box and people are trying to figure out like, this. But I mean, I take pride in really coming in with fresh new stuff every season to kind of like make it jump like that. And I like to hear that when people say the vibe there, because I always say, even if the team's getting smashed, I got to be on. You know what I mean? That's my job.
Yeah. Has there ever been like an artist they told you not to play?
Let's see.
Like, is there a list of songs where they're just like, do not play these artists, don't play these songs?
You know what? There used to be, but I kind of I listened in the beginning, but I'll say I'll never say I can't play somebody. I'll just try to pick a different way to play it. There's when Matt Kemp was dating Rihanna and he broke up, management thought he was gonna feel some type of way. I was like, man, I don't give a damn about that. And so I actually talked to Matt. He's like, man, I don't give a damn about that. You know what I mean? So it's like they were like, stay away from Rihanna. And then a couple years ago when we had like the Michael Jackson type of, you know what I mean, the controversy, they were like, stay away from Mike. And I was like, well, I ain't playing that much Mike anyway, so that's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only thing I try to do is when players pick certain songs, I try to tell them, like, you shouldn't play that. You should kind of stay away from that because that might put a bad light on you. And then some of the things that I used to have to fight against a lot was the media. The media is all, if they don't have anything to write about and they're bored, they'll try to pick out stuff and they'll try to make it a story and write something bad about. So I always try to recommend to players, man, maybe you shouldn't do that. Or if they pick a song that's questionable, I'll kind of make my own clean edit and clean it up or move it around so they can at least still get the effect of what they want, but not so someone can, if they do something bad, pick up on them, see what their song is, and then try to maybe write a bad like story on them. So I kind of like do my own policing. I try to keep it off the radar as much as possible with management, but still let them have their freedom to pick what they want to pick.
That's dope.
So shout out DJ Tism joining us right now.
Go ahead, bro. How you doing?
What's up, everybody?
Yeah.
So like I said, we're here
doing right now.
just talking to you're a champ too, dude. So the official DJ for the Dodgers, he's a champion as well. Because you have hands on with the players as well, man. You know what I mean? So it's like you're part of the team, you are the team, and
right.
As you just mentioned players too. Like, who comes up with a playlist for the players? Do you hit them up, or do you have somebody else telling you what to play?
It happens different ways. So there's some players that hit me up directly. Like Justin Turner will text me in the middle of the night. It'd be like 1 a.m. Does this work? Is this a banger or nah? Or Cody texts me. Kike DMs me on Twitter. Rios texts me directly. Pollock texts me directly. Joe Kelly texts me directly. Some people go through PR. Most of the pictures, they just go through PR. So I'll get emails from PR. The job used to be hands off. The DJ never talked to the players. I kind of made it more hands on. When I first got in my first year, Garrett Anderson was there. And so my first couple homestands, Garrett Anderson asked PR if I would make them some mixes. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll make him some mixes because he could tell the music was different that he was hearing at pregame. So I made him some mixes, and they said Garrett wants to know how much. I said, I don't want any money. I just want to meet him and take a picture with him. I don't want any money. And so they said, okay, bet. So they sent me an email. They said, okay, come to the stadium this time tomorrow, and you can meet him. So next day I got there. I had like 3 mixes made. This is still burning CDs. And I went to the dugout, and I walk in. The first person I meet is like James Loney. So I'm like, wow, it's James Loney. So then Garrett Anderson walks in. So I give him the CDs. I take a pic with him, James Loney. They tell me how much they like the the vibe and how it's different and how it works. So I go back up to the press box and start doing my job. About the third inning, PR walks over and they hand me an envelope. Envelope had $500 in it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's from Gary Anderson. So now everybody I work with and then all the media are looking like,
what did you do?
What did you get?
Yeah.
So I was like,
that's crazy.
I got $500. And so I'm like, okay. So I saw the next day, because these were the mixes I gave him were more like fan friendly, the stuff I was playing in the fan mixes. So I was like, but I want to give him some more hip hop because Garrett Anderson and James Loney, they always had old school hip hop. Like James Loney always had Looking for the Perfect Beat. That was like one of his songs. So I knew they like hip hop. So I was like, well, I want to make you some more mixes. So I did the same thing next day. I told PR, I was like, look, just come. I want to give him some more mixes. I don't need any more pictures, but I don't want any money. I just want to give him some more mixes. The very same thing happened. They sent me another envelope, $500. So now media's looking at me like, what's going on? And so I took it. And so that following year, PR used to get the requests from the players. And, you know, every rapper has Little This, Young That, da-da-da, you know what I mean? And they would always get them messed up. And I'd have to try to figure them out myself. Like, who are they talking about? Because, you know, PR, they don't understand who these people are. So PR said, look, why don't you let me come down to spring training this year and I'll talk to the players myself to see what it is that they want. And I'll give them my direct contact and you guys don't have to worry about this no more. And they're like, all right, bet. So I bought my own plane ticket. I just cleared it with PR. I went down to the Camelback Ranch and I spent like 2 days just talking to the players about music and telling them how this works, why this doesn't work, why this might get kicked back. And once PR saw that I was very interactive with the players and they were comfortable with me and I didn't ask them for anything, they were like, okay, cool. You can just come down every year on your own and we don't even have to handle this anymore. And that's exactly what happened. So now every year I go down for 2 days, 2 or 3 days. I spend time with the players. I used to sit at the locker with Matt for like half hour, Andre Ethier, we would talk. So it's just me, them scrolling through their phones, what they're thinking about. And now we didn't really talk about music anymore. We just kind of like it's kind of like a catch-up session, see how they're feeling for the summer. This year was the first year they actually brought me down to DJ a live workout session for them. And they were trying to surprise Kershaw because Kershaw really likes like the music I play. So it was like 5 a.m. I get a Camelback Ranch. And so all the players are coming in and they hear this music that's just like blaring in the workout session. And Kershaw comes around the corner. He's like, oh, like, you know what I mean? So it was like everybody at the workout session was even that much better. So that was dope. That was super dope. You know what I mean? For them have me come down and then DJ a workout session. That probably was one of the most special things I've done. You know?
That's dope. I've imagined you've met a ton of celebrities while working for the Dodgers. Who is like your top, like, what's your top celebrity you've met? And like, what's the moment behind it?
Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm going to say, okay, so they're definitely going to be Dodger related. So meeting Steve Garvey, like just off-brand one day walking into the stadium at the same time. I don't remember if it was a game, and I think it was a game, but we both were there super early. And just to have him walk and talk with me, and he was like asking me where I grew up from. I told him I grew up in Pasadena, and he was just saying, you know, he was so engaged in wanting to know about me. He wasn't even like big time in me, but we had this like 20-minute conversation, a real genuine conversation. And I'll never forget that. Every time I see him, he always remembers me. And it's such cool. And it's funny because we were just on the news during the playoffs and Liz Habib had me come on and Steve was on and I had to give him a song. She's like, what song would Steve have? And, you know, because he was Mr. Clean, I told him he would be So Fresh, So Clean by like Outkast. But I mean, you know, that just that conversation that I had with him, I cherished that one a lot because I was a real big Steve Garvey fan. And then my other memory will always be like on Sundays when I would get there, and then I would always see Vin Scully at the coffee maker in the cafeteria, and Vin would just have these genuine, like he would ask you, how you doing? You know what I mean? And just have these genuine conversations with you. Those are the two things I cherish the most. And then like some of the other players like Sweet Lou being around there and being like, some of the nicest players. But also now that I walk in sometimes with Oral and I'll talk to Oro about like different, because I'm such a baseball fan, like different things that he says. I try to get the inside scoop on what's going on and what he means by, you know what I mean, more rotation and just different things. And so just being able to have those kind of like baseball conversations with like Hall of Famers like that, to me, that's the most like cherished thing I could do. Like I've met Tiger Woods and I've done other stuff, but just to have the conversations with like Dodger heroes, that's the dopest part of me. And for them, you know what I mean, like give me a pound and all, and then, you know, kind of engage me in the conversations. It's funny, even Rick Monday, having conversations with Rick Monday, you know what I mean? That's different, like different for me. And being able to talk baseball with them or them tell you what's going on, yeah, that's like the most cherished thing I think I go through there. And actually for them to respect me for what I do, because come on, they don't really, at first, a lot of the music was just noise to them. You know what I mean? But for them to kind of actually see what a big part that I play and for them to respect it, even though they don't understand it, you know what I mean? But they also get what it brings to the players. That's like kind of the best thing, because I'm looked at like an integral part of the game. You know what I mean? Even Charlie Steiner will mention me on different games. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's just like dope to me, just to see where I've come from in the 12 years, and then like these people be my peers and actually, you know, greet me coming in. Because when I first started, man, everybody's looking at me like, who's this guy that they brought in to play the music? You know what I mean? They just thought it was gonna be just a bunch of hip hop, just like crazy like hip hop. But I actually came in and you know what I mean, I made a name for myself with the hard work I put in. You know what I mean?
That's dope. That's dope.
That's pretty cool, man. Just to hear your testimony, the way you said you build yourself and you build your legacy when it comes to being that person out there, man. It's awesome. You know, you hear about the DJs that are in the franchise playing, you know, doing their thing, but you know, firsthand, like hearing it, like, hey, I actually have a relationship with these players.
Right.
I do my job, and it doesn't go past it, like where, you know, you get all fam about it. You actually have like a good one-on-one, and it's cool to hear that, because, you know, you hear everybody, oh, you know, I work for this franchise, oh, I do this.
Right.
You know, they try to be all glamorous about it, but hearing it like firsthand, like, no, man, like, you're one real dude, 100, like humble status, like really cool. So yeah, it's nice to see that, like, you know, you don't get that big head type of thing.
Yeah. No. I try to.
And you've been doing it for quite some time. So my hat's off to you, man.
I appreciate it. You know, that's the one thing I was taught: humbleness. I mean, actually, I mean, I know I put in the hard work, so I know what I bring. But I'm more into it when I interact with the fans, and like when I meet the kids on the street that are Dodger fans, and I see them, and even when I go to like spring training, and I see, because, you know, everybody wants autographs, and it's like a lot of grown men asking autographs, but I'll try to pick out kids, you know, with families, like, you know what I mean, that probably spend a lot of money coming down to Camelback Ranch, and I'll always ask them, well, who are you trying to get an autograph from? And they'll say this, and I'll get their ball and I'll take it in and I'll get it signed for them. You know what I mean? Because that means more to me, like the little kid, you know, to be able to go home with a ball, other than these like adults that are trying to get all these autographs to do whatever. I mean, I get it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But to see these families and make these families, I've tried to make so many other families happy. Or if I see a family on the street that, you know what I mean, are Dodger fans and will engage in conversation, and they don't get to go to games, you know, I'll let them, I'll give them my card and tell them, like, text me when you can go to a game. I'll give you my tickets. You know what I mean? I try to bring them up for a tour afterwards, because, you know, it shows them a part of they're so into it. If I can add that portion, you know what I mean, like, to their lives, that means a lot to me. You know what I mean? And then even the relationship I do have with the players, like, during the series, like, there's certain players, like, I'll text AJ Pollock, you know what I mean? We need you. You know what I mean? And they say, man, it means a lot that you just checked in on me. You're not asking me for anything. You just checked in to see how I was doing. You know, when he went through that with his daughter, you know what I mean? Just to check in. Yeah. Even Rios, even Edwin Rios, I text him, like, we need you. When he was hurting, he came back, he was like, man, let's go. You know what I mean? Just to get those kind of like text messages. We were hands off this year, obviously, because of COVID. So I couldn't go down to the dugout, because normally I can go down to the dugout when I want. I usually try to go down every other homestand and see it, you know, check in with them. But we were so hands off, I couldn't go down. And it's a couple times I ran into Cody, like right at sunset at the light. and he honked his horn, and I rolled out my window, and we were kind of communicating like through the cars, like about songs, because he was trying to figure out what song he was going to change to, and he's telling me, he's like, oh, we're going to work it out. We're going to work it out. So it's like, it was funny, and we kept meeting each other at the same spot where we would normally be able to talk, and I was so hands off that I didn't just get a chance. So it was like you had to have these like different chance meetings or send messages, and then there was obviously so much going on. I kind of had to figure out how to deal with them. I didn't want to just kind of keep bugging them. Okay, well, what do you want to do with this, or what do you want to do with that? Because there was a lot of pressure on them just trying to maintain and deal with this difference, and it being a year, and then I know they just under a lot of stress. So just being able to communicate with them and tell them like, let's go, we need you, I'm supporting you, you know what I mean, prayers for you, you know what I mean, that was good, you know what I mean, to get that feedback from them. Really, especially like AJ Pollock, he really likes it, he would say, man, thanks for checking in on me, man, it really means a lot.
That's awesome, dude. Well, DJ Severe, dude, I really want to appreciate your time. Unfortunately, running out of time because it's a Zoom thing, whatever.
Right.
Just a quick question: have you gotten fitted for your ring?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Are they giving you a ring?
We will see.
I've heard they're getting rings.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
yeah, we will see.
The Dodgers need to do a backstage Dodgers. Okay.
Yeah.
They've been telling me they're gonna do a backstage, so I'm sure it's coming up soon. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
But I appreciate you guys reaching out to me and like getting the backstory. I mean,
and we got way more questions too. I think we need to do a part 2 of this.
I think we should do a part 2. Run this back.
We tell them how to do a part 2 because I know the listeners want to hear more, especially the hardcore Dodger fans, the faithful ones.
No doubt.
After this holidays, we'll definitely chop it up and come back again.
No doubt.
Appreciate you, man. And you know what? Push your social media and your merch real quick.
Yeah.
So I'm the real DJ Severe on Instagram, DJ Severe on Twitter. Both have my link tree at the top with my merch, my Severe Soul merch. I just got into the merch game during COVID, so I got some dope stuff, some dope sweatshirts, especially DJ related. I just came out with a new musicness, like happiness and vibes are essential. So yeah, there's Bartley with my musicness.
There he is.
Right there.
There he is.
Yeah, that's Bartley, my sound guy. So yeah, so I mean, just trying to do something, especially like for us as DJs, we're really into t-shirts and hats. And so I try to just bring up the spirits, bring up the vibe. So yes, the real DJ Severe on Instagram. My Severe Soul merch is in the link. Just hit me up. I appreciate you guys. So,
we'll definitely talk again. That's gonna be for sure.
Let's do it.
I'm DJ Devil. We got DJ Tism, DJ SMS. Let them know they can follow you too, guys, real quick.
Go ahead, Tism.
At DJ Tism, that's old school spelling, at DeeJayTism.
You can find me at It's DJ SMS across all social media, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, and then you can also go to my website, it's DJSMS.com. Episode 11, guys. DJ Severe, thank you so much for stopping in and dropping knowledge. We appreciate this. Until next time, everybody, have a good one.
Y'all.